Yeah, hi there. And these comments are for Miriam. This is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So you scored a 67 on the TOEFL. You want to get at least 80 for the pharmacy program. And let's take a look at what you did on your first test. So you had 13 on the reading, 16 on the listening, 20 on the speaking, 18 on the writing, for a total of 67. So I'm guessing you want to get closer to 20 in each area. Reading is a very big problem for you. So you don't just have a problem with reading, you're at the low level. So you have a problem with basic academic vocabulary and less common vocabulary. You're having trouble connecting ideas in reading passages. Even you're having trouble with the different types of TOEFL IBT reading question types. So you got a lot of problems with your reading according to what I'm looking at on the score report. Listening, you're at the intermediate level with your listening. You can understand explicitly stated main ideas, important details. But if you have to infer these ideas or they're not reinforced in the lecture, you cannot understand those things. You can recognize how pieces of information are connected, but it says you can understand but not consistently how speakers use language other than for a piece of information, such as emphasize a point, express agreement, or even disagreement. So that's called language functions, Miriam, is you're having some trouble with language functions. Alright, let's keep going. Let's go to speaking. So about familiar topics, you're 2.5 to 3. It says that you can speak in English about your personal experiences in a mostly clear and coherent manner, but it means that you need to improve your pronunciation more, you need to improve your organization a little bit more. It says you have limited grammar and vocabulary with errors, and the limitations are preventing you from fully expressing your ideas. The good news is the IBT human raters, they can understand what you're saying even though you have those errors. Now with campus situations and academic responses, you also scored in the same area. So you're able to make the connections between the sources, but it still says you are missing some details from either the reading or the conversation or the lecture, and you continue to have limitations with your grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. With your writing, the integrated writing you got killed on. You got 1.0 to 2.0. It says failure to understand the lecture or the reading passage. You have deficiencies relating the lecture to the reading passage, and then you have many grammatical errors and are very unclear expressions and sentence structures. Right? Now with the independent writing, it says that you do not give enough specific support and development for your main points. Your ideas are difficult to follow because of your organization. So it says your grammatical mistakes or your vague or incorrect uses of words sometimes make your writing difficult to understand. And that is your score report. So here's my analysis of what I'm seeing here. So in many cases, you need to improve your vocabulary, your grammar, and your pronunciation, which is what you're doing. Now, from what you're telling me in the email, is you're definitely you're doing well. You said the final exam in step 1 you got 95, and I believe that I already listened to your pronunciation pretest, so you can check your score there. You're looking to get 5.1 or higher, right? So I'm sure you got feedback on that already. So with the vocabulary, the main thing is you understand the vocabulary. Now can you use it? You want to now try to start using the new vocabulary that you see in both your speaking and your writing. Okay, so it says I will appreciate if you can give me advice how to improve my score in only 3 weeks. I have read some testimonies about students who scored 109 or 110 with only a few weeks of study. I hope I'm not going to be the exception. Now, I think you got it backwards here, Miriam. Is students who get 109 or 110 in a few weeks, they are the exceptions. This is not normal. This is not how normal students do it. I'll give you an idea. I had a student earlier this year. When he came to me, his score was 109 and his goal was over 115. He did it. It took him 6 weeks. He went from 109 to 116, and he did improve his speaking to 26 points out of 30 through working with my vocabulary. Actually, not my vocabulary. He focused in the pronunciation and the speaking sections of my course. Now for you, I don't think it's an easy fix. I don't think that there's just a 3-week program to get you where you need to be, because I don't want to mislead you in any way. So my recommendation is this. I recommend that you use my program for 3 months. For the first month, focus in the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar sections of my course. For the second month, focus in the reading and the listening aspects of my course. And then for the third month, focus in the speaking and the writing areas. And typically, if you follow that program and you work hard and kind of work on your English in these stages, you can usually get 5 to 10 points each month that you use my service. So maybe after the first month, you should be getting closer to your score of 80. But let's face it, your biggest problem really is your reading. Your reading is not a good score at all, and you need to get that reading score higher than what it is. In one section, you got 13 on the reading, and another one, you got 10. So either case, you got a pretty long road to go with the reading proficiency that you're trying to develop. And remember this, when we talk about reading, and I discuss it with you, there's basically 4 things you have to do to improve your reading comprehension. We're talking about for the long term. This is not a quick fix thing that's going to make a huge difference on your TOEFL. But you have to read extensively for about 6 months, for about 45 minutes every day. Number 2, do what you're doing. Study vocabulary, improve your vocabulary. Number 3, increase your reading speed to a minimum of 300 words per minute. And then number 4, you sorely need is make sure that you understand the TOEFL IBT reading question types. You know what the questions are and the strategies for answering those questions. You'll see those tips in the reading portion of my online course when it gets to, I think, reading lesson number 1, 2, and 3. You will get all those tips. Alright, anyway, I hope I'm giving you some information to get you going in the right direction, and thank you for your questions.